सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अखण्डं सच्चिदानन्दम् अवाङ्मनसगोचरम् आत्मानमखिलाधारम् आश्रयेभीष्टसिद्धये अर्थतोऽप्यद्वयानन्दान् अतीतद्वैतभानतः गुरूणाराध्य वेदान्त सारं भक्षे यथामति। So in the first chapter, Mangalacharanam was done, invoking the grace of Ishvara and the Guru. Then Anubandha Chatushtayam was described, and then in the last part of the first chapter, Gurupa Sadanam, Shishya, this qualified Shishya approaching the Guru, that topic was discussed, and also the response of the Guru to the disciple who has approached, that also was talked about. Sa Guruhu Paramakrupaya Adhyaropapavadanyayena Enam Upadishati. That Guru who has been approached Paramakrupaya, with or due to highest or this infinite is not a good word, but this great compassion, better word, great compassion, with great compassion, Upadishati, teaches. Enam is Prapannam Shishyam, a person who has approached, surrendered to that disciple. This Guru teaches. And how he is teaching? Adhyaropapavada Nyayena, by the method of superimposition and negation. This is the method of communicating about Brahman, which is Atma. Pratyak Swarupa Advaya Brahma, Brahman which is myself and Brahman which is non-dual. For that Brahman, only method available to communicate is Adhyaropapavada Nyaya. Therefore, there is a popular shloka which we have heard. Adhyaropapavadabhyam nishprapancham prapanchate Shishyanam sukhabodhaya tattvagnehi kalpitaha kramaha. So, nishprapancham, unattributed, undetailed Brahman which is free from any duality, that Nishprapancham Brahma, Prapanchate, is elaborated by what? Adhyaropapavadabhyam, by this method of Adhyaropa and Apavada. And in the second line it is said, Shishyanam Sukhabodhaya, for easy understanding on the part of disciples, Tattvagnehi, by the knowers of the truth, Kalpitaha Kramaha, this order is prescribed, suggested. Alright, so this Adhyaropapavada, what is the approach, what is achieved by this Adhyaropapavada Nyaya? In Adhyaropa stage, this Drishya Prapancha, experienceable world, anything that is experienced is called Drishya Prapancha, is accepted. It is available for experience So that experiential existence is accepted. So Drishya Prapancha, the world, gross or subtle, whatever is experienced by you is accepted in the Adhyaropa stage. That there is something called Sthula Prapancha, Sukshma Prapancha, Karana Prapancha, all of them are accepted. They are elaborated. And how Sthula Prapancha, Sukshma Prapancha are created, all those things are explained in this Adhyaropa stage. So the first stage of Adhyaropa, Drishya Prapancha, is accepted. Means experiential existence is considered, is accepted. And by that, what is suggested? Adhyaropa stage of communication suggests that this Drishya Prapancha is not tucham, asat nasti. Asachet na pratiyeta. We have seen, if something is tucham, like Shashashrunga or Gagana Pushpa, then it will not come to our experience. Rabbit's horn, Akasha Pushpa, these flowers grown in the sky. If really it was there, if really it is not there, then it's totally not there. Tucham chet, then it will not come to our experience. Whereas in Adhyaropa stage, this world is accepted as experienced entity. And by that, Asad Vilakshanatvam of Prapancha is communicated. That Prapancha Asat Nasti, Asad Vilakshanam, Shashashrunga Vilakshanam, Vilakshanaha Prapanchaha. That idea is conveyed. And by Apavada, this Prapancha having its existence, intrinsic existence, that particular idea is negated. So Prapancha is Asad Vilakshana, and therefore our mind will jump to the conclusion. What? Sat it is. Sat means what? That which is intrinsically existing. That our mind will, like a pendulum, therefore it will jump to that. And therefore Shastra, the Acharya, Sampradaya, based on Shruti, what does it say? That Prapanchaha Vastutaha Nasti. Means Prapanchaha Satyam Sat Na San Na. This Prapancha is not really independently existing. So by Apavada, the negation of Prapancha, the Sat Vilakshanatvam of Prapancha is suggested. So by Adhyaropa, Asad Vilakshanatvam is suggested. By this Apavada, Sad Vilakshanatvam is suggested. And if we combine these two, what will be the conclusion? Prapanchaha Sadasadbhyam Vilakshanaha. Prapancha is neither Sat nor Asat. Satchet na Badhyeta, Asatchet na Pratiyeta. We have seen this. If it is really intrinsically existing, if existence is intrinsic to the world, it will not be negated by Shruti. But it is negated. Neha nanasti kinchana. And neha nanasti kinchana. Ekameva dvitiyam. And therefore, this prapancha is not Sat. Satchet na badhyeta. And asachet na pratiyeta. If it was totally non-existent, it would not have come to our experience. But it is coming to our experience. Therefore, it is Asad Vilakshana. So, Sadasadbhyam Vilakshanaha Prapanchaha. That is the understanding we receive from this Adhyaropapavada Nyaya. Little more also is there, but to begin with, this is what we understand. Accepted, and therefore it cannot be asat. Negated, therefore it cannot be sat. Then, what is that which is sad asadbhyam vilakshanaha? That which is neither non-existent nor it is really existent. Then what could it be? It is seemingly existent, which is otherwise called mithya. So prapanchaha mithya, that idea is derived, suggested from this adhyaropa apavada. And when we say mithya, what does it mean? Mithya means asat pratiyamanam cha swapna gajadivat. In Panchadashi that definition is there. So that which is really not there but appears to exist. Asat pratiyamanam cha mithya swapna gajadivat. So this prapancha is mithya, means it does not have its own intrinsic existence, but it appears to exist, and therefore only possibility is it must be borrowing existence from somewhere. It is something like somebody doesn't have, we know that this person cannot afford a car, but is driving a car. Therefore what? This is a reflected glory. In Ramayana this story comes that Sugriva, who was afraid, so much afraid of his brother Vali and staying in Rishyashringa, that mountain. Why he was staying there? Because Vali was cursed that he cannot go. I think Rishyashringa, no? Rishyamukha, maybe. Rishyashringa is the name of the Rishi. Rishyamukha. Maybe Rishyamukha perhaps. So that mountain he was staying because Vali cannot go there. And so he was afraid. But all of a sudden one day Sugriva is challenging Vali. And so Vali's wife is telling, there must be someone, Otherwise this Sugriva was so much afraid of you, how can he challenge you? So must be having someone behind Rama. So what is Rama for this prapancha? That we have to see. The prapancha does not have existence of its own, but prapancha seems to be existing. Very much existing. In fact, it is one of the most difficult part for most of the Vedanta students to accept and assimilate that this world is mithya. Brahman is Satyam is okay, Brahman it is Satyam. That's not a big issue. But Prapanch is mithya, to see it, not just to understand as some theory about creation. There are so many theories about creation. One theory is that world is mithya. One more ideas. Not just as an idea, but as my vision that Prapanch is mithya, it becomes difficult to assimilate because Satyatva Buddhi is very strong. Satyatva Samskara is very strong. And therefore, this Prapancha is mithya, it's little difficult. But Prapancha, we have so many, Bhashyakara gives the Pramanam. In Nasato Vidyate Bhavaha, Pramanehi Niruyapyamanam Sat. When it is analyzed, anything Ghatapatadi analyzed, then it is reduced to something else. Then if we analyze what is this pot, it is reduced to clay. We analyze what is clay, it is reduced to something else. So this prapancha, which is mithya, does not have existence of its own but appears to exist. Therefore, it must be borrowing existence from somewhere. And what is that which is lending the existence to the Drishya Prapancha? Drishya Prapancha means the world, gross, subtle, causal, whatever you call it. So, Vyakta, Avyakta, the entire world, in fact, that is how this description of this Drishya Prapancha will be given here. So, this Drishya Prapancha, including my body, my thoughts, all of them, if it is borrowing existence from somewhere, then what could be that entity? It cannot be any other Drishya. Drishya Prapancha cannot borrow existence from some Drishya. Why? Because if it is a Drishya, it will be having Mithyatvam only. And therefore Drishya cannot borrow existence from Drishya. Whatever agency or whatever entity from which it is borrowing the existence, it must be Drishya Vilakshanaha. Drishya Vilakshana is what? Drashta, Drik. And therefore, this Drishya Prapancha must be deriving its, and Shruti supports that. Shruti reveals that the Drishya Prapancha derives its existence from Drik, Atma. Thus, Drishya Prapancha derives the existence from Drik, Atma. Therefore, Drishya Prapancha is dependent upon Drik Atma for its existence. Now, question would be that Drik Atma, where does it derive the existence from? It cannot derive from anywhere, because Drik cannot derive existence from Drishya, because Drishya itself is depending upon Drik. And therefore, this Drik Atma does not have to derive or borrow existence from anywhere. It is self-existent. Existence is intrinsic to this Drik Atma. And this Drik Atma is being self-existent is called Satyam. Therefore, from this Adhyaropapavada Nyaya, we derive that Drishya Prapanchaha Mithya and Drik Atma is Satyam. Why? Because Drik Atma cannot derive the existence from anywhere else. And this Drik Atma, being self-existent, and it is of the nature of existence, it does not have any boundary. And therefore this Drik Atma alone is revealed by Shruti as Brahma. So Drik Atma, which is self-existent, is called Brahma. And therefore from this Adhyaropapavada, we understand that this Prapancha is Mithya and Atma, which is called Brahman, is Satyam. And that Atma, which is Satyam, is my true nature. Therefore, finally what we understand? Drishya Prapanchaha Mithya, I am Satyam. And what is the advantage of this? When I understand that I am Satyam, the Drishya Prapancha is Mithya, then I understand myself to be non-dual. Means I alone am. There is nothing to limit me. That idea can be further substantiated. And this Drishya Prapancha being Mithya, Atma being Satyam, this Mithya cannot threaten or affect this Satyam. And that is how I discover myself to be free from any problem of samsara. That also is the outcome of this Adhyaropapavada. So Adhyaropapavada Nyaya helps us to discover that Drishya Prapancha is Mithya and I, Atma, called Brahma, am Satyam. And that is why the Adhyaropapavada Nyaya is an important aspect of Vedantic teaching. In fact, that is the teaching. There is nothing other than Adhyaropa Apavada. Whatever is a topic you talk about in Vedanta, either it will be in Adhyaropa or Apavada. There is nothing outside Adhyaropa Apavada. Alright. So Adhyaropa Apavada Nyayena Enam Upadishati. And then Adhyaropa, that with this first chapter was completed. And then what is Adhyaropa? That is talked about. Vastuni Avastvaropaha Adhyaropaha. Vastu, yesterday we saw. Vastu means Vasati, Swayam Asti iti Vastu. Vastu is a Napumsakalinga Shabda. So Vastu is that which exists independently, otherwise called Satyam. So that which exists independently, that which really exists, intrinsically, independently exists, is called Vastu. We use the word reality, or that which is real is Vastu. And Avastu means what? That which appears to be there but does not exist really. That is called Avastu. Swayam na vasati na asti iti avastu. So that which really does not exist, independently does not exist, that is called avastu. And vastuni, on that reality, really independently existing one, on that avastvaropaha, the superimposition of that unreal one, is called Adhyaropaha. So superimposition of unreal on real is called Adhyaropaha. And fortunately we have got examples. So otherwise we will have asambhavana buddhi. How can it be so? How can it be so? Katham bhavet, katham bhavet. So Drishtanta, what does it do? Drishtanta is dismissing or at least weakening our sense of possibility, impossibility. Asambhavana buddhi nivaranartham drishtantaha. And so that is Drishtanta is given here. Asarpa bhutayam rajjau sarparopavat. Like the superimposition of sarpa rope on, superimposition of the snake on the rope, rajjau. What type of rajjau? Asarpa bhutayam, which is not having the status of being a snake, means which is not a snake. So superimposition of a snake on the non-snake rope, just as we have similarly on vastu, like Rajju. Rajjuvat vastuni sarparopavat avastvaropaha is Adhyaropaha. So in general the definition is given what is Adhyaropaha. And this Adhyaropa is going to be presented in two ways in this Vedanta Sara. One will be called Samanya Adhyasaha, other will be called Vishesha Adhyasaha. Samanya Adhyasa means general Adhyasa. Adhyasa of Panchama Bhutas, etc. That which is common, that is called Samanya Adhyasa. And Vishesha Adhyasa is misconception about oneself. That is the Vishesha Adhyasa. Technically speaking, Tatpadarthe Adhyaropaha is called Samanya Adhyasaha. Tvam Padarthe Adhyaropaha is called Vishesha Adhyasaha. So in the second chapter, Samanya Adhyasa will be talked about, and in the third chapter, Vishesha Adhyasa will be talked about. And in the fourth chapter, this Apavada will be talked about, analyzing the Mahavakya. And in the fifth chapter we have seen, earlier also we have seen the development, that sadhanas will be talked about. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyasana, sadhanas, even Samadhi brings. The Samadhi will be talked about. and the last chapter, the Jnana Phalam will be talked about. So this Adhyaropa Apavada, the chapter, the Adhyaropa topic will be discussed in the two chapters, second and third, and the Apavada will be discussed in the fourth chapter. And in these three chapters alone, the main teaching of Vedanta is given. Afterwards only sadhana and phalam. Alright. So now Adhyaropa has been introduced, defined. Now, in the definition of Adhyaropa, the two words are used, Vastuni and Avastu. So that those two words were defined. Vastu is Satchidanandam Advayam Brahma. Vastu is the reality called Brahma, which is of the nature of existence. He is just giving, he is throwing the words. They need to be explained. Sat, existence, Chit, consciousness, and Ananda, fullness, which is Advayam, non-dual. That Brahman is here Vastu. All these things will be explained further. But now, Sat, Chit, Ananda, Advaya, Brahma is the Vastu. In simple words, if we say Atma, Drik, one who is the witness of all, not a Drishya, that is Vastu. And being limitless, that Drik, that consciousness is called Brahma. And what is Avastu? Ajnanadi Sakala Jada Samuhaha. The group of all inert things. Sakala Jada Samuha. The entire group of inert things. Inert things means what? That which is objectifiable, Drishya. Drishya Vastu. Anything which is experienced by you is Drishyam. And Yad Drishyam Tad Jadam. So Sakala Jada Samuha means Sakala Drishya Prapanchaha. That is Avastu. Anything objectifiable is Avastu. In Mandukya we have got Drishyatvat Mithyatvam. So it is Drishya and therefore Mithya. So Sakala Jada Samuhaha Avastu. And what is that Sakala Jada Padartha, Drishya Padartha? Ajnanadi. It starts with ignorance. Ignorance, etc. So the group of all inert things, Drishya Padartha, beginning with Ajnanam, is Avastu. So anything experienceable is Avastu. And that which is Drik Swarupa, which is called Brahma, is Vastu. And now the description is given. What is this Avastu? What all things come under Avastu? Drishya Prapancha. That is described from the next sentence. I think we had read this, no? Ajnanam tu. Ajnanam is defined in the following manner. Sad asadvyam anirvachaniyam 1. Trigunatmakam 2. Jnana virodhi 3. Bhava rupam yat kinchit iti vadanti. 2. We can say indeed. Vadanti, learned people declare. How they are talking about Ajnanam? In this manner. Iti means in this manner. First of all, it is Jnana Virodhi. Yesterday we saw that. Ajnanam, that which represents Nanj Pratyaya, is Virodharthe Nanj. So Jnana Virodhi means that which is opposed to Jnanam. That which is dismissed by Jnanam. And that which is as though veiling my Jnanam is Jnana Virodhi. So Jnana Virodhi Ajnanam. And it is Sad asadvyam anirvachaniyam. In other words, it is mithya. And mithya is defined as sad asadvyam anirvachaniyam. Anirvachaniyam means not available for categorical definition. Anirvachaniyam. And what type of category it is not available? Sad asadvyam. As sat or as asat. And just now we saw that sad asadvyam anirvachaniyam. What is the idea conveyed? That it is not available to be defined as sat because it is subject to negation. It is jnana virodhi, therefore it is not sat. This ajnanam goes away in the wake of knowledge, therefore it is not sat. Because if it was sat, it will not go away. Satchetna badhyeta. And it is not asat because it is experienced. So it is experienced, therefore it is not asat means tucham, and it is negated, therefore it is not sat. And therefore sad asadvyam anirvachaniyam ajnana. So this is the nature of ajnana. And it is bhava rupam. It is not non-existence of something. It is bhava rupam, means a positive entity. Means it is jnana bhavaha ajnanam. That is not the right understanding of ajnana. Ajnanam is not the abhava rupam. Because it was abhava rupam, it cannot have veiling nature. Whereas ajnanam seems to veil the atma. And therefore it is bhava rupam. And at the same time, we are not able to categorically define that it is this. And therefore, yat kinchit. Yat kinchit means somewhat. It is something. It is something positive. It is some positive entity. So yat kinchit has got the idea of it is not something which you can say that it is it is having amsha or not having amsha. In Viveka Chudamani it is said sannapya sanyapya ubhayatmikano bhinnapya bhinnapya ubhayatmikano. So it is cannot be categorized as something away from Brahman, identical with Brahman, but something is there. And by yat kinchit word, what has been said by bhava rupa is played down. Because when we say bhava rupam, then we may have the idea of the Brahma rupa, it may be a reality. And therefore it is said yat kinchit bhava rupam. And by saying yat kinchit bhava rupam, it is suggested that our tatparyam is not to show that ajnanam is a really existent entity. But at the same time, we cannot dismiss it. We cannot dismiss its experiential existence. And therefore, it is said yat kinchit bhava rupam. That which is somewhat positive entity. So, bhava rupam also is said, and it is played down by the word yat kinchit. Yat kinchit bhava rupam. Alright. And trigunatmakam. This word trigunatmakam is suggesting the vikshepa shakti aspect of ajnanam. Ajnanam has got two aspects, avarana and vikshepa. Vikshepa part is suggested by it is trigunatmakam. It is of the nature or of it is consisting of three gunas. If it was a abhava rupam, it cannot have the gunas. It is trigunatmakam. It is consisting of three gunas. And three gunas are well known: sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. Where sattva guna stands for this expression in the form of Jnanam. The factor responsible for Jnanam is called Sattvam. Factor responsible for activity is called Rajaha. Factor responsible for Jnanam is Sattvam. Factor responsible for activity is Rajaha. And the factor responsible for this dullness, inertia, is Tamaha. And we are seeing in this world all the three types of expressions, and those expressions must be caused by some factor which also must be having these three factors. So three expressions are there: knowledge is there, activity is there, and inertia is there, and therefore there must be corresponding factor in the causal entity, and therefore we say it is Trigunatmakam. Of course, main pramanam is Shruti. Shruti is talking about this Trigunatmika Maya, Shvetashvatar Upanishad. So Shukla, Rakta, so it has got the white, red and black color, which is described in that manner. And we can have the supporting logic. Supporting logic is what? In the world we are finding three varieties, and correspondingly there must be three aspects in the causal factor, and those three aspects are called Trigunas. So Trigunatmakam Ajnanam. From this we understand this word Ajnanam is used as Maya. Avidya, Maya, for common, both of them, what we are generally understanding Avidya, Maya, for both of them the word Ajnanam is used. So Trigunatmakam Ajnanam. So this is the description of Ajnanam. So Ajnanam generally understood as ignorance, absence of knowledge. That is not the case. This is what we mean by Ajnanam. Sadasadbhyam anirvachaniyam, it is Trigunatmakam, Jnana Virodhi, and Yat Kinchit Bhavarupam. Iti, in this manner, Vadanti. Vadanti means people, learned people declare. Now, this Ajnanam is there. For that, what is the support, what is the basis? So he gives two pramanam. One is Anubhava pramanam. What is the Anubhava? Aham Ajnaha ityadi Anubhavat. I am ignorant. I am confused, deluded. So this Anubhava is there. And so Anubhava must have some basis, and that basis is Ajnana. Aham Ajnaha means what? Aham Ajnana Vishishtaha ityartha. Ajnaha means ignorant. Generally we translate as ignorant. So ignorant means what? Ajnana Vishishtaha. And thus my experience says that Ajnanam is there. It is not a mere matter of belief. I myself experience, yes, I am ignorant. I am ignorant of so many things, including myself. I am confused about myself. Sometimes I say I am fat, I am lean, etc. Sometimes I say I am fat, and sometimes I say my body. So I am confused. And confusion presupposes ignorance. So you are confused when you do not know the fact. And therefore my experience shows that there is something called Ajnana. Aham Ajnaha ityadi Anubhavat Ajnanam asti. Alright. And Trigunatmakam is substantiated Devatma Shaktim Swagunair Nigudham Ityadi Shrutecha. So there is a Shruti, Shvetashvatar Shruti, Dhyana Yoganugataha Apashyan Devatma Shaktim Swagunaihi Nigudham. So he is a little bit mystical language is used. Dhyana Yoganugataha. The people who are absorbed with the help of Dhyana Yoga, means the people who have got this, people who have practiced the Dhyana Yoga, Nididhyasana Sadhana, preceded by Shravana Manana, apashyan, they appreciated what? Devatma Shaktim Swagunaihi Nigodha. So they appreciated the power of effulgent Paramatma, which is Swagunaihi Nigodham, which is hidden by its own qualities. Alright. So this needs to be understood, clarified further. First of all, this Ajnanam is here referred to in the sense of Maya, which is the power of Ishvara. Therefore, Devatma refers to Ishvara. Ishvara Shaktim, Brahma Shaktim. So, what is this Ajnanam? Ajnanam is the power of Ishvara, power of Brahman. And this Shakti, power for what? Power for creation. So, this Ajnanam, which is otherwise called Maya, is the power of Ishvara for creation. And therefore, it is Triguna. Therefore, it is described as a Trigunatmakam. The Triguna are the potential factor for threefold expressions: knowledge, activity, and inertia. These three are the expressions, and they have the corresponding causal factors. And the causal factors can be called Shakti. And therefore, the Ishvara has got the Shakti in the form of this Trigunatmika Maya. So, Trigunatmika Maya, they use the word, or Trigunatmakam Ajnanam. And this Shakti is Swagunaihi Nigudham. Nigudha means hidden by its own gunas. Prakriti is hidden by its own gunas, manifested gunas. So here Bhashyakara in Swagunaihi Nigudham, he says, Prakriti Karya Bhutehi Prithibhyadibihi cha Nigudham Sambrutam. So this Prakriti, which is the cause, is hidden by its own product. Here Swagunai refers to the gunas which are manifested in the form of Prithibhyadi. So Prithvi, Apaha, Agni, all of them are what? Gunas, manifested gunas. Karya Bhutaha Guna. By the Karya Bhuta Guna, by the gunas which are in the form of product, such as Prithvi, etc., by them this Maya, Devatma Shakti, is hidden. Nigudha. What does it mean? Bhashyakara says, Karyakarena Karanakarasya Abhibhutatvat. Very interesting thing. By the Karyakara, by the shape of the effect, the nature of the cause is Abhibhuta, is overwhelmed, overpowered. That is why when you are seeing some eatable item, you may wonder, you see the idli, you may wonder, is it it's made up of dal, no? Dal and rice. Rice also? Rice and dal. So, dal color will be different and this idli color is different. And in fact, sometimes original item will have different color and the Karya Rupena is different. So, we may wonder that how this is made of the causal form is overpowered by the effect form. That is why some people, for me it is a favorite example, that some people don't like to take milk because milk means we are taking from this cow and sometimes they are torturing cow and all. But when they have to drink milk, they will say, no, milk. But ice cream, they don't mind. So by ice cream, karya karena karanakarasya abhibhutatvat. Because in ice cream so many colors and everything mixed, so you may not remember the milk. So that's what happens. Karyakarena karanakarasya abhibhutvatvat pruthak swarupena upalabdhum ayogyam. Therefore, karanakara is not distinctly appreciated. It is not available to be appreciated distinctly, and that is why it is called nigudha. That is why if somebody says this is Maya, that we can say, how this is Maya? This is a plastic clip. In fact, here also is good example. If somebody tells me it's a petrol, I will not be able to accept. This is a crude oil really. I can't appreciate. So Karya Karena, this is Abhibhuta, this is a good example. This also is good. This is a better example. So we can come out of diving hall. So this clip Akarena, what is Abhibhuta? Karana. The crude oil is Abhibhuta. Similarly, that Maya, original Maya is Abhibhuta by the manifestation of its guna. So Swagunaihi Nigudham Devatma Shaktim Apashyan. Anyway, for us, main thing is Swagunaihi Nigudham is not the main thing. Devatma Shaktim. It is the potential, and Swaguna has got only this much Trigunatmika, for that it is useful. So Devatma Shaktim Swagunaihi. Nigudam part is not relevant here. But Maya has got, Maya which is otherwise called Ajnanam, has got 3 gunas, and it is the power of Ishvara, power of Brahman to appear as Jagat. Brahma Jagat Rupena Pratiyate. Katham? Mayaya. So Maya is the factor which makes Brahman appear as Jagat. And therefore it is called Devatma Shaktim. So Trigunatmakam it is, and it is Jnana Virodhi, and it is Bhavarupam Yat Kinchit. That Ajnanam is the first part of the Drishya Prapancha. Ajnanadi Sakala Jada Samuha, in that Avastu Rupa Drishya Prapancha, the first thing is what? Ajnanam, which is otherwise called Avidya Maya. These words are used. Alright, so he has introduced the Ajnanam. Now he is going to talk about Ajnanam in detail. Idam Ajnanam Samashti Vyashtyabhiprayena Ekam Anekam iti cha vyabhariyate. Idam Ajnanam, this Ajnanam, which is the first aspect of this Jada Samuha Avastu, which is superimposed upon Vastu. This Ajnanam is Vyabhariyate, is expressed, described, presented as what? Ekam Anekam iti cha, as one, as many. Ajnanam is sometimes presented as one, sometimes it is presented as many. Vyabhariyate means presented, expressed. How is it possible? This Ajnanam is presented as one also and many also. So for that he gives the reason. Samashti Vyashtyabiprayena. From the standpoint of Samashti, total or totality, Vyashti, individual. From the standpoint of totality and individuality, Idam Ajnanam, this Ajnanam is presented as one and many. And here we have to connect appropriately. Samashti Abhiprayena Ekamiti Vyabhariyate, Vyashti Abhiprayena Anekamiti Vyabhariyate. From the standpoint of totality, if we consider the totality of Ajnanam, it is called one. And if you consider the individual aspect Ajnanam obtaining in the individuals, then it is presented as many. So vyashti abhiprayana anekam, samashti abhiprayana ekam iti cha vyavahriyate. And this he explains further with the help of example. तथा हि यथा वृक्षाणां समष्ट्यभिप्रायेण वनम् इति एकत्वव्यपदेशः यथा वा जलानां समष्ट्यभिप्रायेण जलाशयः इति तथा नानात्वेन प्रतिभासमानानां जीवगताज्ञानानां समष्ट्यभिप्रायेण तदेकत्वव्यपदेशः अजाम् एकाम् इत्यादि श्रुतेः तथा ही. As for instance, just for giving the example, yatha, just as. Now example starts. So introduce the example by the word tathai. As for instance, yatha, just as, vrikshanam, of the trees or for the trees, samashti abhiprayana, from the standpoint of totality, aggregate, vanam, the forest, iti, in this manner, ekatva vyapadeshaha bhavati. There is vyapadeshaha, mention of oneness. Just as vrikshanam, for the trees, samashti abhiprayana, from the standpoint of totality, vanam, it is a forest. In this manner, ekatva vyapadeshaha, there is mention of, description of ekatva, oneness. Means there are so many trees, but all of them can be seen together, and when seen together, then we can say vanam. There is a forest, Nilgiri vanam, whatever vanam, Bharatavana, Sheshavana, there are so many vanam. There are forests, Himalaya forest, so many vanam. So many vanam means here we are not referring to so many vanam, we are focusing on one vanam. All the trees seen from the angle of totality, from the standpoint of totality, many trees are referred to as one forest. So even though trees are many, but if they are seen together, they can be referred to as one entity called the forest. It is possible. This is one example he gives. Then he will follow this pattern of giving this example of vanam, and the second is yathava, or just as, jalanam, of waters, samashti abhiprayana, from the standpoint of samashti totality, jalashayah iti, jalashaya means water body, reservoir, iti, we have to again supply ekatva vyapadeshaha. In this manner, there is ekatva vyapadeshaha, there is mention of oneness. So many pools of water can be seen, or waves, individually they can be seen, but all of them are seen together from the standpoint of totality, then it is called jalashaya. Upper water, middle water, the bottom water, different ways it can be seen, but all of them seen as one. Then ekatva vyapadeshaha. Because in the water body, the top water will have this little temperature different, this bottom little different. But all of them now we are not seeing from that angle. We are seeing as one as a samashti, all water put together, then one water. This is example for oneness. Samashti abhiprayena ekatva vyapadesha katham bhavati tatra drishtantah uktah. Now, tatha, similarly, nanatvena pratibhasamananam. Now is dashtanta gives. Nanatvam will come later on. Similarly, nanatvena pratibhasamananam, dashtanta gives. Jivagata ajnanam. So all ajnanam, all ignorances, jivagata, obtaining in jiva. In Nana Jivavada, many jivas are there. Every jiva has got ajnanam. So you get knowledge, you are enlightened, your ajnanam is gone. Other person will continue to have ajnanam. So jivagata ajnanam, that is a Nana Jivavada. So here Nana Jivavada is accepted. So jivagata ajnananam, all the ajnanas obtaining in jivas, nanatvena pratibhasamananam, appearing to be many. Nana means many. Pratibhasam means appearing as many. So ignorances or ignorance, I mean, plural we have to say ignorances, obtaining in jiva, appearing as many, all this ajnana, samashti abhiprayena, from the standpoint of totality, tadekatva vyapadeshaha, there is mention of oneness of that ignorance. Tad refers to ajnanam. Tadekatva vyapadeshaha. How is it done? Where is it done? Ajam ekam ityadi shrutehe. So aja is referring to ajnanam, maya. So ajam ekam, there is shruti, where this maya is referred to as aja and it is said to be one. Ajam ekam ityadi shrutehe. Because of the shruti, ajnanam is seen as one also. And ajnanam can be seen as many example, shruti example will come later on. So here, so far what we have done, adhyaropa is explained that on reality, unreal is superimposed, that is called adhyaropa. What is reality? That was presented. What is unreality is presented. And now there is a description of unreal one, unreal things. So we are in the description of unreal. And unreal starts, the description of unreal starts with ajnanam. And ajnanam description will go for some time. And then this sukshma prapancha will come, sthula prapancha will come. That is how this is going to be there. So first ajnanam is described, and ajnanam he can be seen as one also, many also. More details we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Namaha.